And just one day right before we hit Christmas Eve, Donald Trump is trying to buy Greenland. Is that even legal? I don't even know he could do that. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. He also demanded the Panama Canal. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit tight and buckle up because we're diving headfirst into a geopolitical firestorm that's got everyone talking. Imagine Greenland, Donald Trump, and a bold demand about the Panama Canal all colliding into one explosive headline. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's break down what's really going on behind the bus. If you have ever played Civilization 6, you and I are going to be good friends, especially if we agree that the Panama Canal is one of the trashiest, if not the worst world wonders in the game. The only good thing about the Panama Canal is when you hear Sean Bean's voice quoting the Psalms 46 when the canal is completed. It's a bad wonder, but Donald Trump has a keen interest over the canal, because that canal in real life gives more than just 10 gold per passing water unit. Over the weekend, Donald Trump took to his Truth social platform to make bold claims about the Panama Canal, calling it a vital national asset for US commerce and security. He accused Panama of overcharging for passage and hinted at potential Chinese influence on the waterway, something he described as unacceptable. But here's the thing, this is not just about tools or trade, it's a much deeper story of power, history, and shifting global alliances. The Panama Canal is no stranger to controversy. Built by the US and completed in 1914, this 51-mile engineering marvel connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, serving as a critical artery for global trade. However, in 1977, the US agreed to hand over control of the canal to Panama through the Torrijos-Carter treaties. By 1999, Panama gained full sovereignty over the canal. That's over 20 years of independence, but tensions over its control seem far from settled. Now, the US remains the canal's biggest customer, accounting for roughly 3/4 of all cargo transiting each year. Think about that. Most of the goods flowing through this passage are American, but here's where it gets more interesting. China, the canal's second biggest customer, also has a significant presence nearby. A Hong Kong-based company controls 2 of the 5 ports adjacent to the canal, one on each side. For Trump, who's long been vocal about countering Chinese influence, this is clearly a sticking point.
Has anyone ever heard of the Panama Canal? Because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. A secure, he just said, take it back. That's a good idea. Where do you come from, sir? He doesn't come from Panama. Oh, yeah, good. A secure Panama Canal is crucial for U.S. commerce and rapid deployment of the Navy from the Atlantic all the way to the Pacific. It's an incredible thing, and drastically cut shipping times down to U.S. ports by days and even weeks. The United States is the #1 user of the Panama Canal, with over 72% of all transits heading to or from U.S. ports. Think of that. So we built it. We're the ones that use it. They gave it away. Considered one of the one of the great wonders of the world. The Panama Canal opened for business 110 years ago and was built at huge cost to the United States, and it really is big when you consider the lives and the treasure, the equivalent of $1.2 trillion today. You don't hear those numbers. 38,000 American men, almost all men, they went there to be construction workers and dig. They were diggers, and they were brave. 38,000 men died from infected mosquitoes in the jungles of Panama during the construction period. Think of that. We lost 38,000 men. Teddy Roosevelt was president of the United States at the time of its building and understood the strength of naval power and trade. When President Jimmy Carter foolishly gave it away for $1. During his term in office, it was solely for Panama to manage and not for China or any other country to manage. You see what's going on there? China. It was likewise not given for Panama to charge the United States, its Navy, and its corporations doing business within our country exorbitant prices and rates of passage, which they do. They charge us like It's a disgrace. Our Navy and Commerce have been treated in a very unfair and injudicious way. The fees being charged by Panama are ridiculous, highly unfair, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity that has been bestowed to Panama, I say very foolishly, by the United States. This complete ripoff of our country will immediately stop. It's going to stop. The United States has a big and vested interest in the secure, efficient, and reliable operation of the Panama Canal. And that was always understood when they gave it to Panama. Can you believe that? We would never have done it if we thought what's happening now can happen, and we would never, and we will never, ever let it fall into the wrong hands.
Unsurprisingly, Trump's remark drew an immediate response from Panama's president, Jose Raul Mulino. He wasted no time, firmly stating that the canal's sovereignty is non-negotiable. In a video posted to social media, Mulino emphasized that Panama, not any foreign power, controls the waterway. His tone made it crystal clear Panama's not backing down. But Trump didn't stop there. He's also threatening to demand the canal's return if Panama doesn't manage it in a way he deems acceptable. And if you're thinking, wait, can the US even do that? Well, legally it's complicated. The Hanover Agreement signed decades ago includes provisions to ensure neutrality and fair use. But Trump's rhetoric seems to challenge the very spirit of those agreements. And let's talk about what's really going on in Panama. Beyond politics, the canal is facing a massive challenge, a severe drought that's slashing ship traffic. According to the Canal Authority, transits dropped nearly 30% over the past year. Imagine from over 14,000 ships to just under 10,000. These aren't small numbers, and they're causing ripple effects across the global supply chains. Meanwhile, there's another twist. Nicaragua is trying to get in on the action. President Daniel Ortega recently revived plans for an interoceanic canal in his country, a project that's been dormant for years with Chinese investors showing interest. This could create direct competition for Panama, and let's not forget the US considered building a Nicaraguan canal way back in 1854. History really does come in full circle. Now here's where it all connects. Trump's remarks aren't just about Panama, they are part of bigger picture. With his second term approaching, his administration's already signaling a tougher stance on allies and adversaries alike. Reports say he's pushing NATO members to up the defense spending to 5% of GDP, a move that's bound to stir the pot in Europe. And then there's the wild card, Trump's recent musing about Canada. Yes, you heard that right. He joked about Canada becoming the 51st US state and referred to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as Governor Trudeau. While it might seem like a light-hearted jab, it's part of a pattern. Trump's willingness to blur the line between humor and serious policy statements keeps everyone guessing. So, where do we go from here? Is Trump's call to reclaim the Panama Canal a genuine policy pivot or just political grandstanding? And how will Panama or even China react? One thing's for sure, the Panama Canal is more than just a trade route. It's a symbol of sovereignty, global power, and the ever-changing dynamics of international relations. Alright, enough about the canal. Let's start moving on to Greenland. A little geography lesson here. Greenland, the world's largest island. Oh, you're thinking Australia, is it? Well, newsflash, it's not. Greenland sits smack jab in the Arctic and is known for its ice-covered landscape and incredible natural beauty. It's a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark, meaning it has its own government but still technically a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It's pretty cool, right? But here's where it gets interesting. US President Donald Trump has once again floated the idea that the United States should own Greenland. Yes, you heard that right, Greenland. This isn't the first time he's brought it up either. We'll get to that, but let me read to you what he recently said on Truth Social. Trump wrote, "For purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity." Now, if you're thinking, didn't he say this before? You are absolutely correct. Back in 2019, Trump suggested buying Greenland during his first term as the US president.
It's just something we talked about. Denmark essentially owns it. We're very good allies with Denmark. We protect Denmark like we protect large portions of the world. So the concept came up, and I said certainly strategically it's interesting, and we'd be interested, but we'll talk to them a little bit. It's not number one on the burner, I can tell you that. Essentially, it's a large real estate deal. A lot of things could be done. It's hurting Denmark very badly because they're losing almost $700 million a year carrying. So they carry it at a great loss. And strategically for the United States, it would be nice. And we're a big ally of Denmark, and we help Denmark, and we protect Denmark, and we will. In fact, I'm supposed to stop. I'm thinking about going there. I'm not necessarily definitely going there, but I may be going. We're going to Poland, and then we may be going to Denmark. Not for this reason at all, but we're looking at it. It's not number one on the burner.
That idea didn't exactly go over well. At the time, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen called the proposal absurd, and let's be honest, she wasn't alone. World leaders, commentators, and pretty much the entire internet had a field day with the idea. Trump, in classic Trump fashion, responded by calling Frederiksen nasty and even cancelled a planned visit to Denmark. Talk about drama. So why is Greenland such a big deal? Well, for one, it's home to the beautiful US space base, which is strategically important for military operations and monitoring activity in the Arctic. Plus, as the ice melts, the Arctic is becoming a hotbed for new shipping routes and untapped natural resources. Basically, Greenland's location makes it prime real estate if it were actually for sale. But here's the kicker. Greenland's Prime Minister, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, Mette B. Agate, isn't having any of it. He recently issued a statement saying, "Greenland is ours, we are not for sale, and will never be for sale. We must not lose our long struggle for freedom." Strong words from a leader who's clearly not afraid to stand his ground. And honestly, can you blame him? Greenland has a rich cultural history deeply tied to its Inuit heritage. Selling it to another country, that's not just political decision. It's a cultural and national identity issue. So what are we to make of all this? For many, it's a reminder of Trump's unconventional and often unpredictable approach to diplomacy. During his first term, we saw a lot of headline-grabbing moments, from meeting with North Korea's Kim Jong-un to calling world leaders nasty. It looks like we might be in for more of the same. But there's also a deeper layer here. Trump's comments about the Greenland and the Panama Canal could be seen as a part of a broader strategy to reassert US dominance on the global stage. Whether you agree with his tactics or not, it's clear he's not shying away from bold and controversial moves. And that's it for today's video, a deep dive into the twists and turns of global politics. What do you think about Trump's Greenland comments? Bold strategy or just headline bait? And when it comes to the Panama Canal, should the US consider reclaiming control, or is just a political red herring? We'd love to hear your take, so drop your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. And as usual, I'll see you in the next news. Bye bye.